My association with RACS has commenced after 20 years of experience in management consulting and infrastructure sector. I have been working with various organizations, one of them being the JMR Group, which kind of initiated me into the infrastructure sector, and then with the IDFC Group. IDFC is one of the leading institutions which is looking at financing infrastructure. I was heading a company called IDEC. It's the Infrastructure Development Corporation Karnataka Limited, a joint venture of Government of Karnataka, IDFC and HDFC. We are kind of started the business of infrastructure in the sector. It's set up in 2000, and that is when we sector actually started promoting in terms of various opportunities and initiatives which are there. The last 15 years which I was there in this organization and last 4 years as a CEO, I have seen lots of students and lots of candidates who wanted to make a career in infrastructure sector, and those and the experiences of those students, the needs what they have, the kind of capabilities which they require going forward, gave me a thinking saying that I should come into education and see what I can contribute to RACS. RACS, as all of you know, is a industry-led institution to set up to promote kind of a education, management education in the country, which provides the skills and capabilities required for students to make a career which is top class, top notch in the sector. Infrastructure, as you all of you may know, combines about 4 or 5 different broad sectors as we normally understand in the country. Essentially, it has transportation, which has the rail, road, airports, ports, the 4 modes of transportation which are there. The second is the energy. Energy means oil and gas, the power sector, the renewable, coal, etc. The third one, which large group, is the tourism. The fourth larger group is the urban and rural infrastructure, which has the water supply, solid waste management, urban roads, urban metro trains, which you have been seeing all over the country now. Delhi Metro is a good example, Bangalore, Calcutta, etc. are coming up, Mumbai, they are all coming up. So urban is one big sector. When we talk about infrastructure sector in the country, we normally mean 4 or 5 different areas which are there. One is the transportation, which has the 4 modes of transportation, which is the rail, road, airports, ports. The second big sector is the energy. When we speak of energy, again, when we mean power plants, both the conventional, the thermal, the coal-based or the hydel-based power plants, or the renewable energy plants like a wind, solar, etc. And it also has the distribution and the transmission which is there. The third big sector is the urban and the rural services. When we mean urban and rural services, this is where the citizens get impacted day in, day out. We speak about water supply, we speak about solid waste management, the urban roads, the urban metro trains, which is the kind of a fad which India has seen in the last 10 years or so. We have a Delhi Metro, we have a Bangalore Metro, we have a Calcutta Metro. So these metros are all part of the urban. India is also trying to expand the urban services into rural areas, the so-called the Pura scheme, provision of urban amenities in rural areas. Dr. Abdul Kalam's vision on this aspect, we are trying to provide the same service in rural areas. So all these services are the civic services. Tourism is again a big sector which has lots of importance and lots of elements which are coming in. Then you have the social sectors, which is the education and the schools on one side, health on the other side. So broadly, these are the infrastructure sectors, and of course there are lots of subsectors which are there in terms of minerals, in terms of mining, which again has been a lot of need and a lot of requirement felt over the place. Now, if you have been tracking the news and if you have been seeing what is happening in the country, the share of investments in the infrastructure sector as a ratio to GDP. Now, when in the management education we speak about the economy of the country, economy of the state, economy of the cities, how they are progressing, and you are being here into latest fads such as the smart cities, etc. And these are the things of the future. When we speak about these, the investments in infrastructure as a ratio to the GDP has been increasing in the last 15 years or so, and it will continue to increase. Every budget in the last 15 years, including the latest budget of the finance minister, Mr. Arun Jaitley, who was presented this February, speaks about infrastructure as a big element in the overall budgets. More so the fact that he went to the extent saying that extra fiscal space what is available will go for infrastructure investments. So that has been the cornerstone for Indian industry, the investments in infrastructure. The way the country is transforming into the way the demographic dividend is going to happen, what we are going to see is going to have a lot of urbanization, lot of movement, the big accessibility of various areas. We are going to access lots of people, we are going to reach out to quite a few people. The demographic dividend is going to change. People like you, the youngsters, are going to be the key drivers of the Indian economy in going forward, and a lot of movement between India and international markets is happening, and this is going to give us a lot of demographic dividend. When I mean demographic dividend, what I essentially mean is that the availability of talent at the age group what you are, under 25, under 30, the ability of people to contribute significantly to the area. But when the infrastructure sector is going like this, all of you are aware on what is happening in the roads. The metros have good systems and good practices, but if you go to non-metro systems, the services are not up to the mark. You still have pothole-filled roads, you still have water coming in once in a week, you still don't have power continuously. What you are seeing in the metros is only a tip of the iceberg. We need lots of investments. The scale is going to go only up, and the estimations is that next 7-8 years, people say by 2020, we need about 3 million professionals, project professionals in this area, in the infrastructure sector. Where is the talent going to come from? The talent is going to come from people who are the people like you, who is going to look at education into these areas and try and go up.